This video is briefly going to show you how to make word clouds with Tagxedo. A word cloud is simply a visual representation of textual data. So the way it works is you provide text for it to analyze, and it'll create a picture of that text. The more a word is used, the bigger the word will be represented in the picture. Now, I chose Tagxedo over the other word cloud websites because it offers a lot more choices. There are a lot more things that you can do with it. I'm going to hit start now just to show you the most simple way to use it, which is to load your own text. I like to use it this way to work with students on reflecting on their own writing. So what I'm going to do is I copied some text from an essay that I wrote, and normally I would do that with something that students wrote, and I'm just going to paste it in. And then I'm going to hit submit. So it'll take it a moment, and then it'll create a picture of it. So you see it put it in a circle. You can see in the picture that some of the biggest words used were presentation, Tagxedo, writing, and you can see that I possibly might have overused the word used in this particular piece of writing. So that's something that in a discussion with a student we might talk about and want to go back and look to see, is this really something that is being overused? Possibly the word discussed as well. And look at those, see if that's something that's being overused. Another way to use it is as a discussion starter. So I like to actually start classes by asking a discussion question, hopefully something that'll make students think. And one thing that we can do is ask students to either say or type, depending on their age level and time, the answer to their question. We put them all in the enter text box, and it'll show the students a brief snapshot of what the class as a whole is thinking, and use that as a launching point for the discussion. I'm going to go back and show you some of the other options quickly. Where it says URL, you can put a website, possibly like an article from a newspaper would work well, so you could analyze to see what the main topics are. Search and news work the same way. They kind of analyze different topics, so you could search for the election and social studies. RSS would be something like a blog feed. So if there's a particular blog that you or a student follows, or if the student has a blog, you could analyze the writing that way. Delicious is social bookmarking, and if you follow anybody of interest on Twitter, you can actually analyze what they've been saying most recently. The suggestion in the box is President Obama. You could put it in a shape, and I'll show you a few of those in a moment. And you can make the orientation either horizontal or vertical or both. So say, for example, we wanted to look up President Obama's Twitter. I just click in this box and type in his Twitter profile. So again, it'll take it a second to find that information and then to create a cloud for it. Now, some of the things you can do is if you hit shape, there's actually a lot of different pictures that you can use. This is nice. A lot of the other websites that have word clouds either don't offer this or they charge money for it. And sometimes, not always, it depends on what you're doing. The shape can actually help this contribute meaning to what's done. So this is the President of the United States. I could actually put it in the shape of the United States, and it'll take it a moment to reorganize it. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so it fits a little better. You can change the theme if you wanted. Choose any particular color combination that they have, or choose your own. You can change the font. Okay, you can change it so it's horizontal and vertical, or just vertical. You can change it so it looks random. Those things are all things that you can just do to make it more specifically what you would like. One of the other things that's nice is you can actually save, share, and print. So if you wanted to save something to reuse, as opposed to just using it for a brief discussion, you can do that as well. So this isn't a huge tool that does a lot of things. Rather, it serves one specific need, and it fulfills that need very well. So there are a lot of ways you can use this, particularly with student writing, but beyond that, there are a lot of ways you can use that to prompt discussions, and it becomes very useful.